There was a time when people with disabilities were thought of as much lesser than, and therefore how could they possibly want what you and I want? And that time is gone. We all have come to understand how important it is to everybody to be treated as equals. PDSCL celebrated its 60th anniversary last year. It was the first organization in Penticton supporting and providing service to people who live with disabilities. It started with parents who had young children who couldn't access at that time the school system. So the parents came together to pull together some sort of school for the kids. From that developed what we know today as PDSCL.
PDSCL stands for Penticton and District Society for Community Living. We offer mainly community living services for people with intellectual disabilities, so that can be residential, day programs, employment.
One of the programs that we have is called our Bike Shop. We have 5 individuals who are paid a wage, and they're learning how to repair bikes. To be a part of an organization that is welcoming and inclusive and understanding of people's love for one another is extraordinary. We have a wood shop, and there are many different ongoing contracts. All of the South Okanagan BC parks, their tabletops and benches, all of those are maintained here. We've talked about bees. What do bees do?
Make honey.
Bees make honey, Dana. You are absolutely right. We have an education program where we do free-form learning, and it's about opening people up to what our world is. Because folks come out of the understanding that they couldn't learn, and they can.
Our clients range from age 13 up to probably in the 70s and 80s, some of our most senior clients in community living. There are people we currently serve who did live in institutions. Our last institution closed in 1994, so it's a recent thing for people to become part of community. Institutional life was not something that could be wished on anybody. With the low amount of staffing, the residents there were left to their own means for long periods of time, socially isolated, and there were some that suffered from various forms of abuse, whether it's physical, emotional, sexual. Life in an institution is like a prison sentence with no end. So what's the impact on a person for that? It's profound, really. Brian started out living in an institution, but if you've met Brian, you'd be wondering, why was this man in an institution? Brian's been with us for probably going on 40 years. This is a man who works every day, 7 days a week. He's part of our community, has lived independently on his own. He had a spouse and a relationship, but there was a time when somebody thought he should be in an institution. That is just mind-boggling.
It's a nice city, I like it. It's a nice neighborhood in here. Especially in this part. I hate to see that go out. I don't think it would. This gets busy. Not now. This never gets busy, never. Well, there's few people in there.
He lives completely independently, taking into consideration that he can't read, right? So he can't advocate for himself in this way and everything. So he does have support twice a week. He's good with money, pay for groceries himself. He can count bills and everything. But to make decisions on a bigger level, like banking and everything, here we comes, so the agency. So we're tuning here,
yeah.
And actually the mall is right there, so we will go to there. Thank you. So one of the things Brian likes is to go to the source. He loves electronics. Speakers, it's his absolutely hobby.
Marcus, where's our order? How come it's not here yet? The one that's on sale, you have knocked down. Oh, I did, and the pink one.
Pink one?
I'll try the pink one.
We'll give the pink one a go.
Yeah, I'm on the pink one.
He's been coming in here since 1999. He's so excited. He wants to see what's new in speakers. He loves speakers.
There you go. You're hooked up.
We know how to communicate to Higgins. We've learned that over time, and he knows how to communicate with us. He's comfortable with us. We're comfortable with him. Yeah, this is like a second home for him. He loves coming here.
Ain't he going down any sooner? Oh, I get something to work for.
We give him all our pop bottles too, because he collects them from different businesses, and then he comes back and buys speakers with the money. So
That's why I like little speakers, because put them on the scooter.
Brian is gonna hook it up. I'm very proud of him. He can use the cell phone, iPhone. He's got iPhone. He can use it, and he keeps in touch with everybody. You phoning Judy?
Yeah, I was going to say something, and I forgot what I was saying.
Okay. Brian likes to call everybody a lot.
Hi, Judy.
Hi, Brian.
Yeah, I was going to say something, and I forgot what it was. Oh yeah, I know it was.
He calls me sometimes, even when I'm on a vacation. He can call and say, hey, well, you know, that store is closed in downtown. Do you know that? I said, no, I didn't. Thank you for telling me. And he hands up, for example.
Yeah, I'll call back later. Bye. It does worry. Phone.
yeah, you can use it as a phone.
Good, thank you.
Yeah.
Usually if he comes in, he's in for a half hour to an hour, and we don't mind. Like, he knows my schedule. Like, if I'm here on a Wednesday, he's like, what are you doing here today? So yeah, he's like part of the family. He's like one of the crew here. Yeah, we love Higgins coming in.
My mom was an obstetrical nurse. She trained at a time when a mother had a baby with Down syndrome, and that baby was quietly whisked away. It would have probably been institutionalized. Now, that doesn't happen because we have the supports in place to give young people living with intellectual disabilities what they need to survive, but not just to survive, to thrive.
When Brooke was born, I was told that she had suffered 2 prenatal strokes and had cerebral palsy, and she would never walk or talk. She would most likely live in a crib the rest of her life, and that I should find a home for her. I remember leaving the appointment and getting to the underground parking, and I sat there and cried for about 3 hours. Didn't know what to do with the information.
And look at me now. My name is Brooke McFadden, and this is my mom, Brenda.
This is when your beautiful red hair started to come into the picture.
Yeah, so cute. And I'm 25 years old, and I've been in Penticton for 5 years now. It's good weather, nice people. I work in the kitchen at the program. I make the coffee, and then I tie up the tables, and I do the dishwasher. I start at 8 o'clock, and then I end at 2, Monday to Friday. I like hanging out with friends, movies, bowling. I go for lots of walks with my dogs. In the summertime, I like swimming in the lake. Mostly lots of sports. I like to be busy.
Maybe try this one, Brooke, just because this might not slip as quickly for you.
Okay.
I never did think that she would be as well as she is today, working, capable, friends. I couldn't imagine if it was in the olden days, how it would have been. I'm very hopeful with Brooke and her life and the years to come, that it'll be the same for anybody else as it would for her. that she will possibly marry, possibly she will live independently. I do know that.
Yeah, we've been talking about it for a couple times now, and I really believe in like 2 years by now I will be on my own.
Robert and Debbie have been with the organization for many years. They met through the organization, and they were one of the first opportunities we had to celebrate a wedding. I was at that wedding, and it was extraordinary. Up until then, people didn't see marriage between people with disabilities as being legit. It isn't only that it wasn't seen as something that people might want, there was a time when it was actively stopped. These two people showed us how important it is for people who are in love to show that love to everybody and be allowed to show that love.
This is Debbie. I am Robert. We are husband and wife.
Yeah, for 14 years.
I didn't really like girls that much. I got used to them.
We're east for the laughs.
They have lived in community independently for a long time, but as they have been aging, they've moved into assisted living to allow them to get better supports. Robert is pretty well semi-retired now. He used to work full-time doing lawns, and Debbie used to work in our cafeteria, keeping it clean and making coffee service up and things like that. But now they're living in assisted living, a little bit more sedentary. Robert likes to keep busy still, so he's still maintains a few lawns just to get him out and about, but enjoying a retired life.
Wow.
People who are institutionalized died at very young ages. And now people are living full, long, committed lives. That speaks volumes for where we've come. More importantly, where people that live with disabilities have come.
Michelin is she's a very dynamic woman, lives in one of our staff residences with 4 other individuals, and then they have staff 24 hours a day to support them. She's French, loves to do crafts and activities, singing and such like that in her day programs.
Are you gonna watch Wheel of Fortune tonight?
After supper?
Yes.
Not 5:30 yet?
No, not yet. It's not time for supper yet. Soon. I think it's nice that everybody lives in the community and not in an institution, because in an institution they didn't get to go anywhere or do anything, whereas our ladies get to go out all the time. They get to go to movies, they can order in Chinese food, or they can go out to a restaurant. They can do whatever they want to do. It's their choice. And that's important, very important to the people we support.
Finish, my God.
So Michelin decided, she came home one day and she said, I'd like to have a job. I'm like, oh, okay. What would you like to do? Well, I would like to set the tables just like my roommate. And I said, oh, okay. The PAL staff just showed her what to do, and then she caught on very quickly. And so now she has been setting the tables, and she's very good at it. She enjoys making money and going out and spending and buying stuff for herself, like puzzles and presents and things like that, clothes. I think what they want is to be accepted. I think they want to have the same life choices as all the rest of us. They like to work, they want to get married, they want to have friendships. They want to be invited for supper. They want to be invited out with friends. She's very happy here, and she's a great person. We really enjoy her.
and then we'll just come and clean up after. Or maybe me and you will clean up after. And then Cam can just go do some cleanup, like garbage cleanup, and he come and help us up after.
Okay.
Our folks are busy every day with active lives, doing things that they enjoy, going on vacations, and they have jobs, and they get married, and it's just a life.
TJ, do we have enough mixed gas? Oh yeah, that's perfect. Perfect.
You know, we provide work for wages for probably about, I think, almost 40 people within the organizations.
We are going to Creekside that we have the contract for. So we cut lawns, we do, we cut the hedges, we make sure everything is clean. Okay, TJ, we're gonna cut these hedges here, so we're gonna get them nice and round. We have a crew of guys that we go around. We have at least 11 or 12 properties in Penticton. Turn this way, and then flip it, and then you can cut these ones. So that it's the same way. So cut that way first, and then come back. Yeah. Okay. Yep. So today we have Cameron, we have Troy, and then we have TJ. Cameron has been with the society for 20 years. He's been doing the same job for the last 20 years. He's getting a little older there, but he's a really good worker. Troy has been with the society since he's been 15, and he's here 5 days a week just working really hard. TJ has been here for 18 years. He's my muscles, so if we need to lift anything heavy, he's there for me. These guys are an amazing work. I call them my A-team. They work really, really hard for us.
We do a hedge trimmer, we pick leaves. Oh yeah, lots of leaves, yeah. And we got so many leaves that we sit back and wait until they keep on falling. Like, oh, there's some more falling, let's go rake it.
Well, I think it's great for them to have work because you know what? They still need to pay rent. They still need to go shopping. Some of them have families, like TJ has a child and that he has to take care of.
Yeah, it makes me happy. It's just that I'm providing for my family, and actually, yeah, it is good to work because then you get money in your pocket so you can go off, and if you need food, you can buy food or new clothing or whatever you need.
Holidays.
Yeah, or you want to go for holidays, as he would say.
Yeah.
Be honest with you, they have a disability, but there's nothing stopping them to work. Like, they love to work, and that's something that I didn't know. Like, I always thought people with disability, they just were out in centers and they went out to do little fun things. But I've got to know these guys here that are hard-working guys, and they come to work 4 or 5 days a week, and they love it. Like, you know what? For them having work out in this community, I think it's one of the most positive things in their lives to be out here doing something instead of them just being at home or doing nothing.
I feel, yeah, like the community loves us because we help out, and Penticton crew, they're like, hey guys, how's it going? And we're like, hey, the city crew.
We call him city workers.
Oh, yeah.
There's this one city worker, I guess it's Chris, and he says, hey, what up,
guys,
and stuff.
yeah, and everyone loves us.
What's the #1 rule for yoga? What is not talking?
When I was growing up, a lot of people with intellectual disabilities, you didn't see them because they were not living in the community.
It used to be that the community as a whole wouldn't have much contact, and there was almost a mystique around people with disabilities. Well, how do we act? How do we talk? The fact that folks are out in community speaking for themselves, that means that people in businesses, people on buses, people in restaurants are getting to know people for who they are.
Some of the folks here are trailblazers for sure. Today, to see people with jobs and lives and marriages and homes and such, it shouldn't be a surprise anymore. It shouldn't be unusual. And we're just trying to enhance lives and give people, the life they deserve.